Hello people and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to be replacing some spark plugs in a 3.7 litre V6 Jeep engine. Just take the time now to hit that subscribe button, make sure you leave any comments below and also hit that bell icon so you get notified when I have new videos out. I chose to start here at the left hand side of the engine. It's the easiest side to get to. You can see here there are 3 coils. The coil sits on top of each spark plug. Start by removing the wiring, which will just mean you need to depress that clip and slide the wiring off. Now there is a 10mm nut that secures the coil to the engine. Loosen this nut. Be careful not to drop the nut down into the engine. There's quite a lot of little crevices there that it can fall into. This is the coil now being removed. You can see it's had a little bit of moisture or water in there. For all parts at the moment it's dry. Make sure that that's in good clean condition before you do put it back. Now you'll need a spark plug removal tool and an extension and reach it down into that spark plug hole to remove that spark plug. I'd also suggest before you do this just to make sure that there's no dirt or debris that's inside that hole, because you don't want to remove that spark plug and find that that dirt gets into the engine. Maybe some compressed air you could blow it out with, or even a vacuum, and you could suck out any of that dirt that may be in there. Once that spark plug has been fully wound out, the socket that I was using wasn't magnetic, so I've just used a little magnetic pickup here just to grab the spark plug and pull it out. You can see here from this next shot that it's important to make sure that there is no dirt in and around that hole, because it could very easily drop into the engine when you remove this spark plug. A little magnetic pickup tool like this is super helpful. If you don't already have one in your workshop, I suggest that you get one. They're pretty cheap, but they're fantastic for picking up nuts and bolts and things that you drop in hard to reach places. Now that we've got the old spark plug out, it's a good time just to compare it to the new one that's putting in. It's always good practice just to make sure that they are the same type of spark plug, same length of thread, etc. It's also good to note here that the previous spark plug was a reasonable colour, although it was significantly worn. This engine was running well, it had no misfires, but the spark plugs were certainly due to be changed. You can also see at the top of the spark plug there that there's a fair bit of corrosion, which indicates a little bit of water or moisture has got down into that spark plug hole. Now, putting the new spark plug back in, be careful when you place them in there that as they fall, that you don't want that electrode to be bent and closing up that gap. Also here, when tightening a brand new spark plug in, just tighten it in as much as you can finger tight first. Now that washer that sits on there needs to be compressed a little bit, and they suggest about 2/3 of a turn from once that washer is fully seated. I don't actually torque these up, I just go by feel, and obviously a new spark plug, it does need to be tightened up a little bit more to compress that washer than a second-hand spark plug. Now that with the spark plug back in place, it's time to reinstall the coil. Just make sure that that O-ring there is in good condition, because there did seem to be a fair bit of moisture that had got into there, but there's nothing there that's damaged. Now the spark plug coil just sits back on, then the 10mm nut can be secured back on. Now I'm suggesting when you do these spark plugs on this Jeep that you just do one cylinder at a time, just so you don't drop that 10mm nut into the spark plug hole of the cylinder beside it and into the cylinder, because that's going to cause you a whole lot of additional work. Now before you plug the coil back in, just make sure that the rubber grommet that's inside that plug is in good condition and it's actually still there, just to ensure that water stays out of that connection. Now that's your first cylinder done. The next 2 cylinders on this side, it's the exact same process. So I've just sped the footage up here just so you can see me working through the steps. Again, I just did 1 cylinder at a time just to avoid dropping any bolts or nuts into the spark plug hole. Now moving on to the right hand side of the engine, we happen to have a few things in the way here. We've got the airbox here with the intake pipe, and you also have the radiator coolant reservoir sitting in the way as well. This does make it a little bit more difficult. Start by removing this airflow sensor here. Just have to slide that clip back and then it can be pulled off. Next, there's an 8mm clamp here. Once that's loosened, you can then pull that pipe off the throttle body. Now I suggest here not removing the entire airbox, just undo the 2 clips, that secure the top of the airbox to its housing, and then pull that all out of the way. This is also a good time now to check your air filter. Now this was a brand new air filter, but if you open the filters up of a used one, you can see that there's dirt that gets caught into those folds. They're very cheap and they're worth replacing. Next, I just want to move on to the coolant reservoir. I'm just using some pliers here to take off that top radiator hose clamp and then slide that hose out of the way. Now this didn't actually have full coolant in it. This engine's getting a lot of work done to it, so the coolant wasn't filled up. But just be aware that if your engine is warm or it is full of coolant, that this hose may actually drip a little bit, and you don't want it to drip onto or into parts of your engine. Now there are two 10mm nuts that secure the radiator coolant reservoir to the bulkhead. You will need a long or a deep socket to be able to reach these nuts, as there's quite a significant amount of thread on the bolts protruding from the bulkhead. With these two nuts undone, you can then move the coolant reservoir bottle out of the way. Now I found that it sits quite nicely into the airbox. Just make sure that that open pipe of the coolant reservoir is sitting upwards so that you don't lose any coolant. With those two items now out of the way, you've got clear access to your coils and to your spark plugs. Now this is just a simple repeat of the process that we had on the other side. Again, I would suggest just doing one coil at a time, and the footage here is just me going through these coils. I've sped it up as it's quite a routine process now. Now once those three spark plugs have been replaced and everything's returned to its correct order there, it's now time to reinstall this coolant reservoir. Again, it's just those two 10mm bolts. Just ensure that it's sitting in correct position before you fully tighten those bolts up. You'll also need to make sure that the coolant hose is clipped back on and ensure that clamp is done up well, as you don't want any coolant leaks when you're finished. The next thing you want to do is just reinstall your air filter element and the air filter box and tubing, making sure that that air filter is sitting in its correct location before you clamp it all down, as you don't want to fold it or pinch that air filter and allow unfiltered air to enter the engine. Remember, this was a 8mm clamp that held it to the throttle body, and just remember to make sure you plug in that wiring as well, otherwise you will get a check engine light when you start the car. So at this point, that's job done. Hey, thanks for watching the video. If you do have any comments or questions, please leave them below, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and check out some of my other videos. Thanks for watching.